Faith Time is our weekly conversation on matters of faith, and joining us this morning is Micah Gaston with Three Circle Church Midtown. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
We wanted to talk about the new year and renewing our relationship with the Lord. So it's not just the new year, but why does God always leave the door open for renewal? We don't have to take it because it's the new year, but we can do it any time.
Yeah, I think we all kind of think that way. You know, we're kind of like, oh, there's magic in the new year. We make 27 resolutions, and by mid-January we have 2 left, right? So, so I think being able to embrace our resolutions while always being perfect, but I think also embracing, because there's no magic to the new year, it's just a reminder of renewal, that God invites us to that any time. And one of the hope for me as a follower of Jesus is that the Bible has a lot to say about the fact that God offers supernatural change at any point I'm willing to step into it. And so I think it also offers to people that feel stuck, offers to people that feel like they're being defined by a struggle, maybe even addiction, a bad place they're in, that they don't have to wait for a certain time of year to invite God in to do something new and fresh in their lives. That's an offer all the time. In fact, when Jesus was asked to, or gave a description of his ministry, he talked about bringing sight to the blind and people that can't walk being able to walk. Those are supernatural acts. And so I think if we're reminded of the fact that God is a supernatural God and we live naturally based upon our resources and our abilities, we invite God into something supernatural, that can happen any moment we turn to God. And I think that's a beautiful thing. When
we talk about the new year, a lot of people think about making resolutions and setting new goals. Why is it important to set spiritual goals in a spiritual journey?
Sure. I'm sure there's a bunch of different reasons. To me, 3 stand out. I think, first of all, it prevents us in a negative way from becoming spiritually stagnant. So I think if we're not thinking about where we are in our spiritual journey and where we want to be, then we could kind of just keep doing the same things even if we're not growing. And so it prevents us from that. But I think also in a proactive or positive way, it gives us something to aim for. So if we can talk about, well, here's where I am in my understanding of the Bible, or here's where I am in my prayer life, or here's where I am in how I serve others, and saying, but here's where I want to be. Well, then that gives us a tangible way to say, here's where I'm going to be next. And I think finally it always postures us towards asking, how is my life being on mission with God? Like how am I making the most significant amount of impact I can, using every talent and ability that God has given me towards everything, every day I'm here on earth, making the maximum amount of impact. So it's hard to measure that if we don't set goals out there.
Great questions to ask ourselves on a regular basis. Michael Gaston with Three Circle Church Midtown. We thank you for joining us for this edition of Faith Time.